Call this meeting to order. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call, please?
Hannah? Hannah? Okay. Callahan? Here. Rodriguez?
Here.
Hill?
Here.
Sharp?
Here.
Kurtz?
Here.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I need a motion to approve the agenda as
So
presented.
moved.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Sorry, Deb, I'll remember to slow down. Thank you. Motion is carried. Nobody for public comment or anything? Okay. Next, I will need a motion to accept and approve the consent agenda that approves the following: minutes of the January 25th, 2021 regular meeting, Quick Star Class C beer and Sunday sales liquor license for April 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Next, I will need a motion to approve claims for payment.
I have a question. Blackhawk environmental testing for the underground tank, $800. Is that the
Yep.
tank up by the library?
Yes.
Is that going to be paid through a grant or is that on us?
At this point, 100% of what we've incurred up there has been reimbursed by the state DNR and the underground storage tank program. It's all been pre-approved by the DNR for reimbursement.
Okay. Thank you.
Did I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve claims for payment. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Next on the agenda is the stormwater utility ordinance, and we do have an individual, I believe, on Ring Central joining us. Jerry Jensen would like to speak on behalf of this. So, Jerry, if you can hear me and you're out there, this is your time to go.
I do not see him logged in.
You don't see him on there? Okay. Then I'll move forward for a motion to consider adopting the ordinance.
I had a few comments about that.
Okay, Donna, or Deb?
And I had a couple calls from businesses that were in my ward that were against it, Jerry Jensen being one of them. Several senior citizens and a few low-income residents. And one of the biggest questions I was asked was, how much revenue is this going to create for us in a year?
Using just water meter counts as an estimate, I came up with 180,000 as a ballpark. That does not take into account the commercial fees, which are higher. It also does not account for any credits that are given for people who have on-site detention or underground storage, or for those that are in apartments or multifamily units. I just took the straight number of water meters by the $4 per residence, if you will, or per meter.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If I
I-
could address this too.
I will finish what are you putting a comment? I'm sorry. Did
Could
you
I
have?
make a comment? Bad thing of wearing a mask is your hearing aids come out when you take it off. I would, as with Deb, I did receive some phone calls wondering what the stormwater utility fee was and what would it be used for. I did explain that it was for surface water, that we have quite a bit of problems and developing problems with the surface water runoff because our underground systems are undersized or outdated or broken. And at the present time, the only way we can pay for those is out of the general fund. Things like sanitary sewer, we have rates and they pay as an enterprise fund. Water, they have the money we receive for water meet bills, and that helps to pay for water problems. We don't have anything specific to the stormwater problems. We have it all over town. Somebody said, well, I don't even have any intake, so why should I worry about it? And I said, well, that's part of the problem, is that there are places in town that do not have the appropriate stormwater runoff. And what this simply does is this raises $4 a month on each house. It's a set amount. It is not tied to your appraisal of your house. Somebody said, well, why don't you just set something up in property tax and use it? The problem with doing anything with property tax is not the levy that kills people, it's the fact that your property appraisal goes up. And so we're caught in a two-edged sword here. People want development, they want new businesses, they want parking lots for those new businesses. Whenever we put a roof up, whenever we pour concrete, that takes grass out of the equation. Grass is important because that's where a lot of the runoff water soaks in before it hits the streets and starts filling the streets and the gutters. We had a study on this. We know in just one section of town, we could have a multi-million-dollar project just redoing the stormwater system there, and that's not including the other three-fourths of town. That we have problems when it floods, when it rains heavy. Rain now is more the 100-year and 500-year rains are what are becoming common. And most of the stormwater systems in communities were not built to handle that. So if we're going to grow, and I think Al pointed out, we've had several $1 million worth of property value go on the books over the last few years because of new businesses coming to town. But every one of those has a big parking lot. Every one of them have roof. And that adds to the stress that's on the stormwater system. So I understand nobody wants to pay taxes. I don't like to pay taxes. But we need to fix things, and to me, this is a system where people know that they're going to pay $4 a month. The only way that'll change is the city council will have to have 3 votes to change that amount. And so they're guaranteed, this is an enterprise fund that will only go to deal with stormwater problems. We can't buy a fire engine, we can't buy a new police cruiser with it. It's dedicated to dealing with stormwater problems. And so I understand why people don't like it. I understand why some companies don't like it, because they've got big parking lots, they've got a lot of roof space. That adds to it. We've tried to tie the houses to $4, so it doesn't matter what your income level is, what your house is appraised at, you'll pay $4. So I have to support it, even though I understand why people don't want to pay taxes, but a user fee is, to me, one of the fairest taxes you can have, besides putting property tax on, and some poor soul fixes up their house and the value goes up, and even if the levy for the city stays the same, they're going to pay more taxes next year. So that's why I think this is a good fee to have, to work on a problem we have. We're creating a fund. Will it pay for it? No, but we have debt service that we'll have to pay on that, and right now, we have to take the debt service out of general fund, which means we can't do something else. So that's why I'm in favor of the stormwater utility fee. I don't like to pay taxes any more than anyone else does, but things have to be fixed, and we have to come up with a way to fix it. So, thank you.
I'll start again. I'm requesting a motion to consider adopting the stormwater utility ordinance for the third and final time.
So moved.
Second.
I do have a motion and a second. If nobody else has something, I will ask for a roll call, please.
Callahan?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Scharf?
No.
Kurtz?
Yes.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Hannah?
No,
You don't need the majority, right? You need a
Simple majority,
which,
we have.
okay. So, thank you, motion did carry then. Next, we are down to max levy hearing. I have a motion to set February 22nd, 2021 at 6:30 PM to hold a public hearing on the maximum properly taxed dollars and authorize the city clerk to publish the maximum levy hearing notice.
I'd make the motion.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'd like to comment first. I had several calls this weekend, and people also stopped me in places of business over the levy that's going to increase because we're going to incur more expense. And also, what was the trifecta, the school resource officer, the stormwater utility, and this. And with this, I got hit 6 or 8 times by people that said, hey, we had to go up last year. We had a raise last year. Why are you doing it again? And it's unfortunate. So I just want to voice concern of my constituents.
I will point out, if you take a look, Gina was kind enough to give us last year's max levy hearing notice, as well as this year's. You'll notice that the max levy, which is not your final levy, this is just the cap at what those specific levies can go to, is 0.0236 higher. So it's virtually identical to last year's max levy that you adopted as the max. Again, I want to emphasize, this does not suggest it's the final levy for these specific levy items, but you are, virtually identical to last year's. And we still need a second.
Yes.
I'll second it, but Al, maybe you could explain why we have to have this maximum. This is what new last year, the state legislature.
Yes, last year was the first year that the legislature put this into place. It identifies only certain portions of the levy, our general 810 levy, insurance levy, property liability insurance, our emergency levy, FICA, diapers, employee benefits. Again, it's just about 2/3 of the city's levy line items that are included in this, to say we will not exceed this amount in our overall levy.
We can exceed it by order by the council. I mean, we can.
2/3, I mean,
hold a
there's,
Public meeting and,
there's a process to go through, but this is set up to be the max for these line items. There are other levies that are not included in here that will affect the levy. The debt service levy, for example, is not in here.
right.
But
We would need to set this hearing whether we kept everything the same or not. What you're talking about, Mike, I think is if we exceed that 2% that's allowed in the legislation, then we would need the supermajority after the hearing for the
Correct.
resolution.
Yeah.
I still have not heard, oh, you did do second, okay. If nothing else, I will ask for a roll call, please.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Scharf?
Yes.
Kurtz?
Yes.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Hannah?
yes,
Callahan?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Next, I am down to public hearing and proposed amendment to Independence Urban Renewal Program. I need a motion to receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Next, I will need a motion to hold the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to hold the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. We are now in public hearing in regards to amendment to the Independence Urban Renewal Area.
This is correcting the legal description for this particular urban renewal area. When Steve G. created this, a portion of a previously adopted urban renewal area was withdrawn from that and added to some land that was outside of an urban renewal plan area. The portion that was removed from the previous spot did not get put back in, and again, this is the correcting action for that. This does not change the development agreement. It does not have a financial impact to us beyond the fact that it just adds the property back into the urban renewal area.
Any questions? If not, I will request a motion to close the hearing and receive and file oral and written comments.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Thank you. We are now under resolutions. I'm asking for a motion to approve a resolution declaring necessity and establishing urban renewal area and approve the urban renewal plan amendment for the Independence Urban Renewal Area.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second. No further discussion. I will ask for a roll call, please.
Hill?
Yes.
Shar?
Yes.
Kurtz?
Yes.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Callahan?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Moving on. The public hearing in regards to ordinance providing division of taxes levied on taxable property in the February 2021 edition of the Independence Urban Renewal Area pursuant to Section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa. I start with, I need a motion to receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. The motion is carried. Next, I need a motion to hold the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I do have a motion and a second to hold the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. We are now in public hearing in regards.
This is the ordinance that dictates how the funds from this newly defined urban renewal area are collected and dispersed.
And this is still in reference to the Goldfinch Court and Hummingbird Court development, the Steve G's.
Correct. You have to adopt the ordinance to make it official. I will tell you at this point, because it was already adopted, we did put in here and would ask you to consider the option of waiving the second reading and going straight to the third this evening, because it is simply a correcting ordinance to what was already adopted.
Any other discussion? I will ask for a motion to close the hearing and receive and file oral and written comments.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. We are now out of the public hearing. I need a motion to consider adopting the ordinance for the first time.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. May I have a roll call, please?
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. We do have the option, because of the situation and this being a correction, to waive the second hearing and go to the third final passage of this ordinance.
I would make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second to waive the second hearing and go to third final. Will I have a roll call on that?
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
No.
Hannah,
No.
Callahan,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
No.
That would fail. It needs a supermajority.
That one needed a supermajority for that. So this has to be back on the agenda again for the next council meeting for
Correct.
second? Okay. Okay. Next, I am requesting a motion to approve a resolution setting March 8th, 2021 as the date for the public hearing on the urban renewal plan amendment. Do we do that, or do we have to wait till this passes for 3 times?
No, this is a different project. This is for the coffee shop across the street from City Hall here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is just setting a date
This sets the
for
date for,
March 8th for a
correct.
public hearing.
I'd make the motion.
I'd second.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, I will ask for a roll call, please.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Next, I am down to a motion to approve application and maintenance resolution for the Enterprise Drive Trail Phase 2 project.
we are at that time of year where we have an opportunity to apply to the TAP program through Intercog, which is federal funds channeled through the state down to the COG. This grants us the authority to apply for the financing for that Phase 2 trail from Walmart to 6th Avenue and north to the old addition, and adopts the 20-year maintenance agreement, which we are required to adopt to be eligible for the funding.
Do you know, Al, what kind of figure we're talking, we're gonna be supplying, or applying for?
We are applying for, I just worked on it this afternoon, it's 442,000 for the project. With engineering costs, it comes to 496. Our share would be 150,000, so about 350,000.
Okay, thank you.
We have that in the CIP for, have we
Well-
allocated for,
With this would be, we're trying to get a program for 2025.
right.
So it's,
Oh, for 2025.
right, so we got to get it into the schedule. We've applied for this a couple of years previously.
That's what I thought.
But we have not gotten it programmed yet. So they're on a 5-year programming window. If somebody drops out or some money becomes available, it could move up earlier. But at this point, we're really looking at 2025 for programming this. And the system paid for the first half of the trail, or, we participated in this for Phase 1. This is just the next portion of it.
Didn't the last time Waverly got the grant?
Last year, Waverly finished the last segment of the rolling prairie trail through Waverly, and it connected 20 or 30 miles of trail, so they scored much higher than we would have. But this has been competitive in the past, and at this point, we just keep trying until we get it programmed. It is the right program for this type of a trail project.
we're gonna continue to try to get the easeway out there, correct?
We have to continue working on the easement through Walmart territory?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'd make a motion to approve the application.
Second.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second. May I have,
For
excuse me?
clarification, application and
maintenance.
20-year maintenance agreement. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Next, we are dealing with a 2021 ADA ramp replacement project, engineering service agreement, and you need to fill in the blank for what the motion is. Whoever makes the motion.
The only comment, and I see Brian is here, it does identify 29 ADA ramps. I would like to amend that to say up to 29 because we are doing sidewalks and downtown sidewalks. If there's any fluctuation in our funding, it would come in the number of ramps. So I don't know if I want to identify a specific 29 just in case we have other expenses with the sidewalks. If that's okay with Brian.
I'd make the motion.
I'll
Okay.
second.
I do have a motion and a second for approval. May I have a roll call, please?
Callahan,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Next on the agenda is the 2021 Downtown Sidewalk Replacement Project Engineering Service Agreement. That is again, fill in the blank.
And this one's to repair the damaged sidewalk in front of Harding and that area.
Where the sidewalk is, the 2-foot strip that is sagged at the outside edge of the side, of the downtown sidewalks, correct?
I would make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Do you have a motion and a second? Any other discussion? A roll call, please.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. We are now down to state revolving fund loan application.
The SRF loans are for the water and sanitary or clean water loans through the SRF program for our Highway 150 project. I need the council's authority to sign the application and make application, official application for these loans. The good news is, after conducting the pro formas and the rate studies, it appears that there is no need to increase water or wastewater fees in order to make this work. And that's shown in the pro formas.
Is this for both north and south?
This is the total project, yes.
Even though north is 2021 and south is 2022?
Correct, correct. Because it's one project in 2 phases, this covers the entire project, north and south. And part of the benefit here is the favorable bids that we received. You'll see that the sanitary sewer is $747,000, and the drinking water is at $1.127 million. These are on a 20-year, 2% loan.
I'd make the motion to approve the applications.
Second.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second to approve the state revolving fund application. I will ask for a roll call again, please.
We don't need one if you.
You don't need one for this? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Okay, we are down to a possible closed session. I think that request has been made. Do I need to read this right here first? Okay, possible closed session per Iowa Code 21.51 in parentheses, I, to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation, and that individual requests a closed session, which has been done.
And I'll just weigh in to give my opinion that this is a proper closed session under the Iowa Code, and I would not hesitate to proceed to go into closed session.
Okay, thank you. People don't really understand, that was our city attorney, Steve Leidinger, just made that comment.
I'd make a motion to enter closed session.
Second.
Thank you. I do have a motion and a second to go into closed session. You don't need a, you want
Need a roll call.
Roll call for that? Okay, thank you.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin.
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Thank you. We will be going into a closed session. Do we need to shut down?
We will be shutting down the Ring Central meeting, going into closed session for the city attorney and Ms. Hannah. We will be conferencing you in, so stay by your phone. We will be coming back into open session after the closed session.
So do I have